Welcome back to Media Mesh, where I give you my unapologetic opinion on everything from music, movies, news, reality TV, and so much more as we go down the rabbit hole. If it's your first time here, thank you for stopping by. We're going to get right into it. But of course, make sure you like, share, subscribe to all that good stuff that people do when you enjoy people content. You know what I'm saying? Now, today, we're going to get some really good perspective on, I think, a big part of the society that's taking place right now, right? So we're looking at a lot of people who feel it's completely okay to steal. Now, I understand that, yes, some of us have been disadvantaged. Okay, your childhood, your upbringing plays a role and shapes you into who you are today, right? So I can acknowledge that. And again, this is my unapologetic opinion, and this is the home for the intelligent dissection of social media. So if this is not you, you might want to move on, because we're going to jump into this right here. And so, yes, she is the one we're going to talk about today, but it's bigger than that. I want to address something. Okay. But anyway, you see, she's smiling. You know what I'm saying? Some people deserve to be away. All right. So that they are not a burden on society. Okay. Now, back to what I was saying. Now, yes, some of us have grown up in very harsh situations, and to some degree, it has warped the mentality of a lot of folks. But her ability to understand what is at stake is very, I don't know how to put it. This is just sad, right? That's the easiest words I can use to describe this situation. So we're going to see in a few minutes. Now, she basically was offered a plea deal for 3 years, but she chose to go ahead and take it to trial. Now, it's one thing if you're stealing for food, okay, because even then that's still pushing it. But, hey, if you have to eat, I get it, right? But I'm not talking about tomahawk steaks. I'm not talking about shrimp, but just basic things. And of course, there's food pantries. There's different resources out there, so you don't really have to, right? But in a case like that, I can understand. And, worst case scenario, they just trespass you from the store. But when you're going through stealing designer glasses, when you're a career criminal here, well, at least a career thief, right? And you don't have any damn common sense to boot. This is a problem. Let's look at some of the comments. But first, let's get into what happened.
This video of career shoplifter Ernisha Atmore at work using a cooler to scoop up designer sunglasses, which she has no plans to pay for.
She committed one of the most brazen thefts that I've ever heard of. She went into the sunglass hut at International Plaza, and she had a soft-sided cooler, and she just scooped her arm and put about $20,000 worth of sunglasses into that cooler. And when the employee said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I have a taser." Well, a taser, as you know, is a weapon.
She was busted, and in her car they found some of the stolen goods, which was collected in evidence bags.
Ernisha Atmore.
This is surveillance video of career shoplifter. Atmore has been in and out of prison for a string of theft convictions, but as a repeat offender, she is now facing stiffer penalties and decades in prison. Prosecutors offered her a 3-year deal. She rejected it. Instead, a jury convicted her, and she was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
That's because the state of Florida has taken a very tough stance on retail theft.
But before she was sent away, she had 2 more theft cases to settle, including this one.
A defendant entered the Zales at the Brandon Town Center Mall, tried on a ring that it had a value of $8,749.99, placed the ring on her left finger and proceeded towards the exit.
And while they tacked on more years behind bars, Atmore couldn't resist smiling for the camera. Her next stop, prison. She won't be free again until she's 60 years old.
Good Lord Almighty, man. Now, this comments is blowing me away. She gonna be 60 years old. She still got a smile on her face. I think personally, she's not altogether there, because this is not a laughing matter, right? So you know what? Because I usually take whole offense to thieves. I do not like liars at all, because I have to go to work and do my 9 to 5. Okay, so I have to work within the confines of what my hourly pay is. Okay, so that means that you have to eat, live, entertain yourself, do whatever it is you want to do with the set amount of money that you have earned after taxes, and then of course paying taxes on the money that was already taxed. But that's a story for another day. And yet she is just brazen rather. She just cool shit. It doesn't make her no difference. So maybe she will now finally be able to give her fingers some rest. Now she can relax and she doesn't have to be hard at work stealing. Let's look at some of these comments. Somebody said the sad part is that our people aren't calling out the injustice with this sentence. What the hell does that mean? She made a conscious decision to steal. No one made her steal. She's not stealing to feed her family. She's stealing so that she can then go sell those items at a discounted rate. Now, some of you may say, well, that's what insurance is for. No, that's not what it's for, right? You don't get an insurance policy in the hopes that somebody's going to steal from you. Just imagine if you're a small business owner and you have to file a claim. Do you know how that affects your premium, your payment that you have to pay for the insurance? So it's not a victimless crime, as they say. Now, granted, big business is big business, and of course they'll, continue on. But then you have in certain areas, just like in New York and other cities, where they're removing certain stores from certain areas. It's obvious it's not profitable enough to continue on. So you end up making it worse for yourselves, depending on the community that you're in, because you won't have access to things that everybody enjoys, like a Walmart or Target, wherever you shop, you know what I'm saying, or your Family Dollar, whatever your budget is. If they're not making a profit, and if it's just high crime, it's going to eliminate the whole thing. So now you have to go further out to go do your shopping. So if you don't have a car, I guess that means you're going to have to go further on your bus or Uber, whatever you got to do. But all this is because people feel it's okay to steal. I don't understand. I have no pity for her. This was her choice. She did what she wanted to do. Let's look at some more comments here. Well, I mean, obvious. Like, why would you go to trial, get caught red-handed? And this other person says she should have taken the 3 and rolled out, which is true. And I'm glad that they are stiffening the penalties for this stuff, because I watch police activity and all these different channels that show you the crimes that's taking place. It's like the people get caught and they back out on the street the next day, if not the same day. You get your little fine, whatever, go about your business, go to the next store, do it again. There's no real consequences. Now, I don't know if that's because the jails are not, it's not enough room at the jails, or they just prefer to get you in and out. But I could only imagine being an officer and I did all this work. I had to fight you, you know what I'm saying, beat you down, do all this extra stuff. And then you out that night after, you know what I'm saying, like all of this drama, and you know you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like, come on. And well, I mean, hey, she'll have enough time to think about it. I imagine she'll be stealing inside jail. Maybe she's a kleptomaniac. That's possible. But, somebody going to steal her face in the prison. So that's what it is. You can't expect people to feel sorry for you if you don't feel sorry for you. Another person says 20 years for stealing glasses, but pedophiles get 2 to 3 years. Well, this is true. But again, you can't justify wrong with another wrong. When you commit a crime, you don't get to dictate the punishment. Who knew it would go this way? She didn't know, but you found out. As they say, you F around and find out. So let this be a lesson to anybody else out there that's trying to steal. You don't know how it could go, because they're going to be stiffening the penalties, obviously, because this is getting carried away. People are just choosing not to pay it all. They just, hey, you know what? I want some shoes. I want some Dior glasses or whatever. Let me just go get them. I ain't paying for nothing. I'm just go about my business. And there you have it. And now look at you. 30 years on the wake up. Until next time, peace and blessings.